Good morning. This is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
New this morning, a man is in custody after a shots fired incident. According to Rapid City Police, around 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday, they were dispatched to the northwestern part of the city for a report of gunshots being fired at an apartment building. When they got there, police located several shell casings in the parking lot.
Police said there were no reports of injuries. During the ongoing investigation, officials learned that the suspect was barricaded inside a residence about a mile away from the initial incident. Officials responded to the location and were able to safely take the suspect into custody.
3 individuals with ties to Hibachi Grill and Supreme Buffet in Sioux Falls had pleas of not guilty entered for them in federal court Wednesday in Sioux Falls.
Court documents say the 3 defendants worked together, quote, to encourage and induce aliens for the purpose of commercial advantage and private financial gain to come to, enter, and reside in the United States.
Per court papers, at least one conspirator allowed foreigners to work at the restaurant without mandating they give evidence of permission to work in the country.
There are some big changes coming to downtown Sioux Falls.
Starting May 1st, if you park a vehicle between 9th and 13th Streets along Phillips Avenue that is longer than 18 feet, you could receive a $15 fine.
One of the things that I heard a lot from residents down here was there are these 4 blocks of Phillips Avenue that sometimes passing a car is a little difficult because we have large vehicles that are extending into the drive lanes.
Also on May 1st, you can start using the text-to-pay feature at parking meters, and you will be required to pay at meters downtown on Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
However, parking in lots and ramps will be free all weekend and after 5 p.m. during the week.
Now let's get a check on our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, Summer. Good morning, everybody. We are looking at a cooler day today. Thicker clouds already this morning in eastern Keloland. Maybe a passing shower during the morning. Otherwise, expect numbers in the 50s and 60s. 60s today, central and western South Dakota. We'll try to hit 62 in Sioux Falls. A better chance for sunshine later this afternoon as the northwest winds increase. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The Easter musical The Passion and the Cross is set to make its return to the Orpheum Theater in downtown Sioux Falls.
The Passion and the Cross will open its 7-show run tomorrow night and includes an all-local cast of about 140 adults and children.
Each year, I think that the cast has a more in-depth perspective on the content, on the lyrics, on each part of the gospel stories that we're putting on stage, and it just seems a little bit more fresh from the perspective of the actors and the performers.
The 5th season of The Passion and the Cross opens tomorrow night and runs through Saturday, April 19th.
We provided a link with a complete schedule and ticket information under this story on Keloland.com.
An event this Saturday will help thousands of homeless animals. The Pause to Celebrate Gala is the Sioux Falls Area Humane Society's largest fundraiser.
They raised $60,000 last year, with all proceeds going directly back to the shelter. Staff say it's events like this that help continue the care they provide for animals.
It helps all of the thousands of homeless animals that come through our door each year. So it provides shelter, food, vet assistance, so spay, neutering for all the animals.
The gala is happening from 5 to 8 p.m. at the district in Sioux Falls Saturday. Following that, an after party is from 9 to 11, which includes music and games.
Tickets are available while supplies last, both online or at the door.
There's a special critter making a Sioux Falls golf course its home. Q-Tip is the white squirrel that hangs out around Prairie Green.
While some people may want to go to the course just to see the local legend, that's not allowed.
We just got to make sure that we reiterate to people that this is a golf course and a business, and it's not like your regular city park where you do have to pay to play out here, and to be respectful of the golfers and things like that.
However, golfers may see the furry fellow bopping from hole to hole.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another Check Your Weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our forecast today, a couple of sprinkles in the east, but where it's not raining much and the sun's back out today, red flag warnings are in effect from Mobridge to Pier to Winter. So be careful there with that fire threat very high as the cycle of those conditions continues. Temperature today in Sioux Falls, a few degrees cooler than yesterday in the low 60s. And again, the blend of sun and clouds will watch any of the lighter showers dotting southwest Minnesota into northeast South Dakota, but it doesn't add up to a whole lot here. You can see our cloud cover on Futurecast there by late afternoon, a little bit thicker into Minnesota. Otherwise, mid-60s, pretty common from Rapid to Chamberlain over to Mobridge. And then for tonight, we'll drop down in the 30s. And I do expect skies mainly clear across South Dakota. Minnesota areas, too, will be clearing tomorrow. And then we're off to the races here. Temperatures in Rapid City near 80. That's going to be accompanied by a very high fire danger there. In fact, even Sioux Falls, now that's 64. It is above normal. It'll feel pretty nice. The wind, though, in Sioux Falls tomorrow will actually be fairly light, about 5 to 15 miles per hour from the south. That will change on Saturday. We'll start to gain some momentum with that southerly wind. Temperatures are back well into the 70s. I wouldn't be too surprised to see an 80 out there near Yankton or Springfield or perhaps Parkston or Platte later in the afternoon. Now, rain chances as we flip the page into Sunday. Well, Sunday morning, there's a decent amount of humidity trying to move in for a short window here. So I want to keep that opportunity there for at least some scattered rain, maybe a clap of thunder. But those kind of items on the maps here are going to then move out as a cold front sweeps in. And then that basically takes over with windy weather on Sunday afternoon. In fact, our wind forecast, as we march through this outlook here, we've got today's wind 20 to 35 out of the northwest. That will settle down tomorrow. In fact, into central South Dakota, it goes around to the southeast tomorrow afternoon. And then that's the wind that picks up in Sioux Falls on Saturdays. So that's a south wind running at 20 to 40. Then, yeah, you got to keep track of all these days, right? You go into Sunday and Monday, it goes back to the northwest. And by the way, this forecast is much stronger. We're already anticipating some gusts near 50, and it's almost a shoo-in that western South Dakota, central areas as well, could easily have some very high fire danger. Sioux Falls, we'll see where we're at on temperatures and how that all kind of blends together. It's very possible the fire danger could also be high there. So keep that in mind early next week. And bottom line on the forecast, we're at 62 today, Sioux Falls. That's several degrees above normal still. Normal high is 57 now. And then the weekend, we're in the 70s. We've got Saturday at 74. We take that dive Sunday afternoon into Monday. And then Monday, Tuesday of next week, that's our cool weather. And look at that. That's only just near normal. And then back to 67 Wednesday. There's ample evidence to support more of the 70-degree weather coming in after day 7. So that's what we're thinking. And do you notice something else here? There's not a lot of conversations about widespread rainfall. There's only a scattered chance on Sunday. That includes Aberdeen, Sioux Falls, and Pier and Rapid City. So we're going to put that in there with that disturbance to our north cutting across North Dakota, but it doesn't have very much of a big opportunity for any widespread rainfall. It's not the right pattern for that. We do anticipate the warming trend at the end of the 7-day, and that clearly shows up in Rapid City's 7-day with 75 there by Wednesday. Check out more details available online at KELOLAND.com.